Welcome, everybody, to the LIPSEY'S Aim Higher podcast. I'm Rob Abrazino. This is Jason Kloster. We have Brian Eastridge. We have Daryl Bulkey. Two very special guests, instrumental to this new Ultimate Carry project that we launched yesterday at SHOT Show. Without further ado, I'll let Jason kind of dive into it and I'll talk to these guys and kind of go through the process.
Yeah, so, as most of you probably have heard or seen, the new Ultimate Carry series of revolvers has been a process that's been almost 2 years now. And from the conception of going into doing something that would really be the ultimate carry gun in a J-frame, not only did we have our ideas of what we thought would be ideal, we also wanted to really get the feedback from two really guys who really run these guns, who teach them, who carry them, who shoot them all the time. And Daryl and Brian were the natural choices for that. I ran into Daryl, I guess it was June of last year.
We met in June, but if I remember right, I think I got my first phone call from you in April.
It might have been, yeah, that's what it was.
Hey, I'm doing this thing, what do you think? It was great to be able to talk to you and bounce. The problem with a lot of the industry stuff is people get in their mind, we want to build this gun,
right,
but they're not really asking the right people. If you're building a carry gun in there, but our person's a competitive shooter, it's going to be different.
Right.
And those were those first conversations about, hey, what should we do for sights? Or
what's the goal?
Yeah, well, the sights, and that was the first conversation where we had the clarifying.
Yeah, I think my first question was, so how far do I regulate these things for? Because everybody thinks, these J-frames are a get off me gun.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, not if you put good sights on them.
Yeah.
You can do good work with these at distance.
Yeah, and then that led into the caliber thing, and you need to do it in 32 H&R, and you're like, well, I was thinking that, but I needed somebody else to tell it. You know?
Right.
And that's been, for me, the biggest thing is having some options across the board. Caliber-wise, actually sighting the guns in for rounds that people really carry as defensive rounds. All of these things came up, and then bringing Brian down for the technical, inside baseball, what goes on in the side plate.
Right.
So
yeah, because that's the thing about it is not only do we want to do things that you could see, but we want to have improvements that were internally in the gun as well. And that's a lot of that is out of my purview as far as how they all, the little mechanical things. And Brian, he's a wizard on that. And so these two guys were the natural fits for this. Not only that, Brian's a grandmaster PPC shooter.
Or NRA distinguished.
I
never
that's
topped
what it was.
The grandmaster.
Yeah, that's right. So distinguished. But so you want guys like these who, when you're doing sight validations and regulations, can shoot. Because you put a lot of these guns in people's hands and okay, yeah, you shot it, but we really didn't gain a whole lot of information on what you just did.
Right.
I knew if these guys shot it and it went to where the sights were, we were golden.
So Brian, where did you jump in on you jumped in on the project? What was your kind of initial thoughts or reactions when Jason contacted you?
Oh, I thought it was updating a platform that had been somewhat underserved for a long time. And
like 5 decades,
ish, 5 decades. But also given, we carry these guns every day, and every one of the formats previously, there was a compromise on something. We had to, if the sights were good, then maybe we couldn't get the stocks we wanted, et cetera, or we would have to spend some inordinate amount of money customizing an existing platform.
Right.
So when Jason looped me in on the project, it was, I kind of want to understand what's going on inside of the gun that makes it better, and is it a legitimate, valid change or upgrade?
Right.
And then, can we get this gun to shoot to the sights? What's the capabilities of it? And Daryl and I both shot some incredible groups with J-frames that even a lot of the people in the circle were going, wow, we didn't know these guns would actually do that.
Right.
So
yeah, it was a great process. When they came down, it worked out really good because we had Andrew Gore from Smith & Wesson that came down as well.
Right.
So we had all of these angles covered. We had the manufacturing side of it. We had the guy who knew all the internals and how these things run. We had the guy who teaches and runs these guns religiously for years. And we had our side, which was how to market these things and get them out there and get them in people's hands at a reasonable price and a reasonable amount of time. And so it really was kind of a great team. Everybody had their little piece of it, and the result has been really probably one of the best product releases we've ever had.
You know, and part of that too is because we did it the way we did, we avoided a problem.
Right.
When we all sat down and looked at the first set of grips, everybody was like, wow, these feel great, they look great, they're fabulous. And then we go out and we're doing ammo testing and regulation all day, shooting some awfully hot ammo and going, these hurt.
Yeah.
These ain't right.
Yeah.
And for being able to get on the horn with VZ and going, you know, and I'm kind of a historical grip guy going back to the 20s of going, these need a high horn Centennial, and knowing what that took to make that, and then the initial rounding in and coming up and covering the very back of the frame all the way to the top of it, which is how we shoot these guns.
Right.
All of a sudden, now you went from somebody getting a gun and going, I don't like shooting 38 airweight J-frames because they hurt,
Right.
to we're going to make that a lot better, on that end. And then regulate them for ammo that doesn't necessarily kill you either.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then the 32, I think what we're finding is everybody who shoots 32 long in that gun goes, wow, I got great sights.
Yeah.
I got a fantastic trigger, so I can hit everything I'm shooting at.
Yeah.
And the gun doesn't recoil, so I can sit here all day long,
Right.
really enjoying training with what'll be your daily carry gun. So
Right.
the gun that's on you all the time, not the pretend when I'm around my friends or taking pictures on
Right.
Instagram
Right,
gun.
right,
The
right.
actual gun that's sitting in your pocket going
Right.
to the store, that gun you actually enjoy taking out and training with because it doesn't hurt to shoot. The grips are comfortable, the sights work, the trigger is not a war
Right.
to get the thing to go off properly. I mean, the whole thing came together about
Right.
perfect.
And it's factory warranty.
Yeah,
It comes out of the box. You don't have to go send a gun off. You don't have to worry, did somebody screw up my cylinder when he tried to chamfer it, whatever. It's done. And it's, we always try to look at these things. If people are going to carry something, people always say, I've got a J-frame, it's my always gun. I say, okay, all right, that's good. You should always have a gun. Your always gun should have as much potential as it can possibly have,
Right.
to be successful, because that's the one you're always going to have. So that the Staccato is sitting in the truck or just sitting in the safe at the home, and you've got the J-frame sitting in your pocket, why handicap yourself with sights that don't really shoot to the load that you shoot?
Right.
All these different things. Optimize that gun because for sure that's the one you're going to have with you.
Yeah.
So,
and it's a myth destroyer. Oh, well, you can't see your sights in a fight, which is not true. I can tell you that.
Jim Cirillo would argue that.
Yeah, I would argue that. I can tell you to this day what that sight picture looked like. But what the problem's been is the sights weren't of the type that you could actually see. Right. You can almost not avoid seeing these things.
Yeah.
They pop.
They pop.
Yeah.
And now you're driving a sight, which now means you can hit to distances people didn't think you could hit to.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian parked a 3.5-inch group offhand at 25 yards after we've been shooting all day.
We've been shooting all day. Yeah.
And then, in that group I shot on the test run with the 110 or 135 Gold Dot, when you can put 5 rounds in a single hole at 10 yards, that blows everybody's, it's just a belly gun and they don't,
Right.
Go find something else you can shoot 5 rounds into a hole
Right.
in an X at a B-27 at 10 yards with.
Well, and experienced revolver shooters will tell you that if you shoot off of a rest or put them in a range, it's not going to be the same as shooting out of your hands.
No.
So we didn't cheat it either. We didn't go out there and sandbag these guns. We went out, stood on our 2 legs, locked out, and shot them like you would. And it's funny, we were playing around with the stuff, and we got there towards about the middle of the deal, and I think with the Gold Dots, we all 4, Andrew, Daryl, myself, and Brian, all shot a cylinder, and they all went into about a palm-sized group.
Yeah, with everybody, 4 different shooters.
4 different shooters.
On the same gun.
Right.
On the same gun with the same load at the same distance. And then we knew, okay,
That's when you knew it was about
we can
locked
check
in.
this box.
Yeah.
We are good.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point. But that's the kind of thing that makes these things successful. It's not an afterthought. It's not we threw this all together, and then let our customer go beta test it. We did the testing ourselves. And not only did we do it us where we might have a bias because we're trying to get things done quick. I brought 2 guys in that I knew were not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
I said, you be honest. Don't think you got to tell me what I want to hear because you're a guest here or anything else.
Right.
If we're doing this, if it needs to be tweaked, we're going to do it. And to Smith & Wesson's credit, they would not do this gun until it was exactly right. VZ got it exactly right. XS got it exactly right. But Smith & Wesson also was committed to doing it exactly the way we wanted, and they hand delivered samples down and said, let's go run them through again. And that's why I think the sum of all these parts has really been what it is. And it truly is, in my opinion, the ultimate carry J-frame.
Yeah, you didn't just hang a ultimate label on it like everybody else does in a set of whatever grips and you're good. We actually did, being at the show yesterday and having our circle of people. Guys who are the legendary revolver shooters, legendary instructors, come up to this booth, near tears in their eyes, and go, this is what we've been asking for 40 years. I cannot believe you got Smith to finally make the gun we wanted for 40 years. And the people who are really going to benefit are those new shooters into this who don't have decades of experience. Brian can make up for bad sights because he knows how to shoot the gun. He can make up for a bad trigger. But somebody just getting into this brand new who's coming in and buying that from their dealer off the counter and it's their first revolver, it'd sure be nice if that thing really functioned for them so they have a positive experience that's not fighting the gun. The gun is helping them.
I had several ladies yesterday that are owners of gun stores or work at gun stores. We had thousands of dealers coming through here yesterday, and I had several of them tell me, Jason, this 32 is a gun that I can finally put in a lady's hand, one of my customers, and feel good about it. Because I know they can be successful with this gun. I can get a novice lady shooter up to speed quick on this. And they were some of the most excited people we had that came in here because they've always struggled with what to put them into. And now that platform, especially in 32, is really a really optimized system for a novice shooter.
You guys talked to basically everybody at SHOT Show yesterday.
Pretty much, and most of them twice.
I was gonna ask what feedback. I mean, what was kind of feedback? Maybe some questions, things. And what were people saying?
So, it was a really kind of an educational experience for a lot of them because seeing a revolver and not understanding maybe some of the lingo and features, and then going, oh well, that was what I didn't like about that before and why I never explored that avenue. And then, so a lot of education to the dealers, potential buyers, things like that. And the feedback once we got these are all the benefits of this package coming together the way it did, really generated a lot more interest, and the feedback was extremely positive, just across the board, even for people that weren't necessarily revolver people, so to speak. So and
that's fantastic.
And the other thing was, more than once I heard people say, "Who would have thought the coolest thing I saw today was a 32 caliber?"
For me, the watching the eyes when they press the trigger the first time. And see, for us, going out and getting action jobs was just something you did.
It's just part of the deal.
I mean, I have long, expensive relationships with the best gunsmiths in the country because I don't have Brian's skill at taking these. I don't touch tools and guns together. So we're very used to getting these guns, and immediately they go to a high-end smith to get tuned. So most normal people have never felt a good trigger. So this allowed that to happen, that they got a very good experience right off the bat with feeling what a good trigger feels like right out of the box. And the other was that grip. They get that grip, they get the trigger finger in the right place, and then a good trigger. And then they kind of get it up and go, oh my God, like the sights are screaming at you. So the gun sort of drove all those fundamentals of marksmanship that we emphasize. And, like you said, with the ladies The other big thing, I'm just going to kind of go on a little tangent, was for somebody like me. So you got Bad Santa out here, who's this big, triple full-size human being who goes, look, I got such bad arthritis in my hands that everything I shoot hurts, and I have hands like an old lady.
Yeah.
And that's what, and I shoot 32 long pretty regularly now. That's really kind of one of my go-tos, or the rim fires. And it kind of validated, they go to these shops and everybody tells them, well, you have to shoot 357 Magnum in an air light.
Right.
And that, that's about the most miserable experience on the planet. I mean, I would never want to shoot again either.
Yeah.
So to have guys like us who are full-size human beings, who have been cops, who have run these guns, done that, and go, oh no, like in 38 we shoot 148 wad cutters, and in these things we shoot 32 long wad cutters.
Yeah.
They're all like, really?
Yeah. Right.
How come the guys who really know are shooting these really controllable, accurate rounds, and they're not all hung up on this master blaster, throwing the old days of throwing a 25-yard ball of flame down range was really cool, but that's why I have severe arthritis issues now.
Right.
So let's avoid that, and, get a gun you can control and really run.
Right. Yeah. That's fantastic. Any final thoughts? I mean, this is
I think Daryl kind of touched on that. As great as this gun sounds on paper and in the pictures, when you put it in your hand, you will really get excited, because I'm telling you, once you feel that grip, you see those sights, and you stroke that trigger, you're gonna be like, I get it. I get it now, and I'm just really excited about it. Should start seeing these into February.
Yep.
The best thing I can tell consumers out there: get with your dealers, let them know what you want. Be patient. This is not a one and done type run. This is a gun. Way too much effort went into this gun to just run 1,000 each of them and call it good.
Right.
I mean, this will be one of our catalog exclusives, if that makes sense.
Right.
Where we're going to run it until the market just says they don't want them anymore, which
should never happen.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate the time in the booth, and I know you guys you're going to roam today a little bit, right?
A little bit. We'll be back.
We had these guys tethered to the booth yesterday and didn't let them go anywhere, but really appreciate your time, and let everybody know where they can find you guys, or follow you guys, or hunt you down, whatever.
So our latest project is the American Fighting Revolver project. Funny that we were looped in on a Fighting Revolver project. That's pretty awesome, right? But AmericanFightingRevolver.com is the landing page for our media subscription page, which is American Fighting Revolver at Patreon.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I'm going to just give them a little plug. Fantastic content that doesn't get throttled by Facebook and Instagram and everything. If you are a serious student of the revolver, whether it's fighting revolver or just any type of revolver, join this Patreon. It's the best $5 you will spend. I promise you. Just seeing Daryl's guns that he pulls out and talks about, Brian's tips on maintenance and all these different things, it's the best $5 you can spend.
That's fantastic.
Thanks, Jason.
Go sign up. And you know where to find us, at LIPSEY'S Guns on all the socials and YouTube and so forth. And again, thanks, guys. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Jason.
Till next time, aim higher.